Okay. What is every single verse that Christians bring up in order to hate people who get abortions?
Okay. So number one, we shouldn't hate people who get abortions.
Okay.
Okay. That's just no.
Okay.
All right.
In order to throw people's abortions back in their face with Bible.
Okay. So let me just give you the passages of scripture. That was a very weird way you phrased that. Let me just give you the scriptures that Christians more than likely will know.
Okay.
Or they should know of, hey, this is...
I'm going to nitpick all these, by the way.
Why you value human life. Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
You can
up front with that.
Because
this is the part I'm confused about.
Okay.
There's a lot of verses thrown around, and none of them really make sense.
Okay. All right. So, Jeremiah 1:5.
Old Testament. So,
Old Testament.
So grain of salt on this one, right?
No, All right. Anyways, Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. Okay. And I think that's like the reality is before we're ever formed in the womb.
Before you're formed in the womb.
Right.
Okay.
The Lord knows us.
Okay. So am I a human being before being, am I a human being during the forming process?
You are, okay. In what forming process of?
Before I formed you in the womb.
So, okay.
So if I'm still being formed, am I a person?
If you're, in other words, if you're being developed, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like the development does not take away from the fact that we are human.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because we continue to develop beyond,
True.
The womb. So we develop in size, we develop in being able to our own rational, reasonable, abilities. And so there's constant development going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
also, okay. So with that verse.
So, all right. So the Lord knew us is all I'm saying in that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
But so what? Like he knew us at what point? Like he knew me when I was 30? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
what did he know? He knew
everything about us.
Okay.
From the point, and what he's trying to say is before you were even born and before you were even conceived, he knew who we were.
Okay.
Okay. So we were already in his mind, in his thoughts, and that, because in his foreknowledge, he knew everything before he even created Earth.
Okay, well, that one does nothing for me.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I'm saying. You asked me to say the verses that people use.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
No, I know, but these are the things that I'm confused about because yes, I get science, but if I can't figure out how to make my Christianity make sense with not liking abortion, then why would I not like abortion?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, if that's okay. I understand what you're going for. For me, it's to be honest with you, for me.
Okay.
It's as simple as one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Or thou shalt not commit murder.
Okay.
Right? Like that's like I'm good with that one. Like for me, that satisfies
Is that the next
everything
verse?
for me biblically. Now I'm going to give you some others.
Okay.
Because let's talk about what people use, right? And then let you critique them. So we'll go to Psalm 139.
Okay.
And verse 13 here. And so this is David speaking to the Lord, okay? For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them.
Okay.
So
same thing as the other one.
yeah, so this is just saying, hey, but the Lord is the one who is forming us, who is creating us. So,
Okay.
and because he is the one who is making us, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we're made as human beings, and we're made in his image. Therefore,
Okay.
don't kill. Okay?
Don't kill God's.
Don't kill God's creation.
Don't stop God's weaving.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
all right, let's go to a few others.
Yes, sir.
All right. Exodus 21, verse 22.
Okay.
When men strive together and hit a pregnant woman so that her children come out, but there is no harm, the one who hit her shall surely be fined, as the woman's husband shall impose on him, and he shall pay as the judge determines. Okay, so in other words, there's a pregnant woman.
Mm-hmm.
She is hit. Okay.
Okay.
Child is born, but the child's okay.
Okay.
All right. So in other words, in induced labor, maybe even prematurely, but the child's okay.
Okay.
All right. Then at that point, there should be a judgment that's imposed on him for the judge to determine. Okay.
All right.
Verse 23 of Exodus 21. But if there is harm, then you shall pay life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And these are the same things that we're talking about when. So in other words, if there is so the woman's hit,
Mm-hmm.
labor is induced, child is born, but there is harm to that child. In other words, the child did not make it. If the child's life ends because of that, then the individual will have to pay for their life.
How would they know?
What do you mean?
Wouldn't it just come out as a bloody mess?
Well, it depends on how far along
Right.
they are. So, but I'll say the child's not living, okay,
Right.
not breathing, and so therefore the whole life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand. These are the same punishments that are given toward other human beings
When they kill other human beings.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, so already it's the idea of okay, but
They're attaching the human being to the human being.
yes.
Okay.
The idea of giving humanness and personhood to this child. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's one, and then
So all these verses put together are kind of stacking up
okay. And then again, we could go to Genesis
in your favor.
in my favor. Okay. And then again in Genesis, where it talks about the fact that we have been made in the image of God. So Genesis 1:26
Okay.
through 27, they should be made in the image of God. And then finally, again, they'll one of the 10 Commandments that I said earlier, thou shalt not commit murder, right?
Okay.
So, and if abortion is murder, then they'll do that, which for me, that's what it is. So those are the scriptures that are often brought up.
Okay. For Christians to hate abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.